We live in a world that constantly tells us that more is better. A bigger bank account, a more prestigious job title, a faster car. These are the markers of success that society rewards and celebrates. It's incredibly easy to fall into this trap, believing that if we just had a little more, we would finally feel happy and complete. The problem is that these goals are based on metrics that are easy to see and measure. Your salary is a number. Your job title is a label. These are things you can show off. Things that are easily understood by others as symbols of achievement. They are observable, and that makes them incredibly seductive. The real danger lies in what we sacrifice to chase these visible numbers. We often trade our time, our relationships, and our mental peace for a higher position or a larger paycheck. This is what I call turning the bar stool upside down. Money is supposed to be a tool to build a better life, but for many, the tool becomes the goal itself. We forget that the ultimate aim is a high-quality lifestyle, one filled with freedom, joy, and meaningful connections. Instead, we get caught up in a game where the scoreboard is public, and the prizes are things that look good on the outside, but often feel empty on the inside. Our focus on these easily measured metrics means we neglect the things that truly matter, but are harder to quantify. How do you measure your daily level of calm? What is the metric for the quality of your free time? Since these things can't be put on a spreadsheet or a business card, they get pushed aside. We convince ourselves that we'll focus on our lifestyle after we hit the next financial milestone. But this is a flawed strategy, because the goalposts are always moving. The pursuit of wealth and status, driven by their observability, becomes a self-perpetuating cycle that prioritizes the means over the end. This isn't to say that money is unimportant. Financial stability provides a crucial foundation for a good life, but there's a point of diminishing returns. Once your basic needs are met and you have a comfortable buffer, trading more of your precious time for more money becomes a very poor exchange. People take promotions that demand longer hours or expand their businesses to a point where they are constantly stressed, all for the sake of metrics that don't actually improve their day-to-day existence. They forget to ask the most important question: is this making my life better or just making my bank account bigger? At the top of many corporate ladders and entrepreneurial ventures, you won't always find the happiest people. Instead, you'll often find what Oliver Burkeman calls insecure overachievers. These are individuals who are driven not by a deep passion for their work, but by a profound sense of inadequacy. Their relentless ambition is a way to quiet the inner voice that tells them they aren't good enough. They have won the competitive race by society's standards, achieving the wealth and status that everyone else is chasing. Yet despite all their success, they remain deeply unfulfilled and anxious, perpetually seeking the next achievement to validate their worth. This phenomenon challenges the very assumption that reaching the pinnacle of a hierarchy equates to happiness. We look at these successful figures and think they must have it all figured out, but often the reality is far different. Their drive comes from a place of insecurity, which means no amount of external success can ever truly satisfy them. They are stuck on a hedonic treadmill, where each new accomplishment provides only a fleeting sense of relief before the old anxieties creep back in. They are playing a game they can never win, because the finish line is not a destination, but a feeling of inner peace they are not equipped to find. The reason so many fall into this trap is that the journey of the insecure overachiever is fueled by external validation. They climb the ladder because each rung offers a temporary hit of approval from the outside world. A promotion, a bonus, or public recognition serves as proof that they are valuable. However, relying on external validation is like trying to fill a leaky bucket. It's a constant, exhausting effort that leaves you dependent on the opinions of others. True contentment comes from within, from a sense of self-worth that isn't tied to your job title or the size of your house. This isn't a critique of ambition itself, but a warning about its source. Ambition that comes from a place of passion and genuine interest can be a powerful force for good. But when it's fueled by a need to prove something to yourself or to others, it becomes a curse. The insecure overachiever is a cautionary tale. It shows us that you can have all the outward symbols of success and still feel like a failure on the inside. It forces us to reconsider what winning really means and whether the race we're running is leading to a destination we actually want to reach. The world of personal growth is liberating. It gives you the tools to become stronger, smarter, and more capable. But it holds a hidden danger. The continuous pursuit of self-improvement can subtly convince you that you are fundamentally an unfinished article. You start to believe that happiness is something to be deferred, a reward you will earn only after you've achieved the next goal. You tell yourself you'll finally relax and enjoy life once you have single-digit body fat, or once you've hit a certain income level, or once you've meditated for 1,000 hours straight. This mindset turns your life into a perpetual state of becoming, while completely neglecting the art of being. This creates a malignant dynamic where you are always sacrificing the present for an imagined future. The sacrifice-reward loop is useful in the micro. You go to the gym before you watch Netflix, for example. But when applied to your entire life, it becomes a recipe for misery. You are constantly living in a state of not quite there yet. The person you are right now is deemed insufficient, and your present moments are seen merely as stepping stones to a better version of yourself. This is an exhausting way to live. It robs you of the ability to find joy in the process and appreciate the progress you've already made. Nassim Taleb once said, there are two types of people: those who don't know how to make money, and those who don't know when to stop. We can adapt this to personal development. There are those who don't know how to improve their lives, and there are those who don't know when to stop improving and start living. The self-improvement industry can trap you in the second category, making you feel permanently incomplete. The constant desire for more knowledge, more discipline, more productivity, makes it impossible to be content with what you have and who you are today. The central challenge, then, is to find a balance. How do you remain ambitious and driven without letting your goals poison your present happiness? How do you strive for a better future without feeling like you are perpetually falling short? This tension is at the heart of the modern struggle for a meaningful life. We fear that if we stop pushing, we will stagnate. But if we push too hard, we sacrifice our youth and our sanity for a future that may never bring the fulfillment we seek. The key is to learn how to appreciate the journey itself, not just the destination. So how do we escape this trap of endless striving and deferred happiness? The solution is surprisingly simple, yet profoundly effective. It comes from Sam Harris, who suggests that we should aim to string together small moments of peace and gratitude throughout our day. This doesn't require a 2-hour meditation session or a week-long silent retreat. It's about taking just 30 seconds, maybe 5 times a day, to consciously pull yourself into the present moment. It's about putting your mind where your feet are, even for just a brief pause. This small practice can radically shift your entire perspective. During these moments, you simply stop what you are doing, take a deep breath, and notice your surroundings. Feel the chair beneath you, listen to the sounds in the room, and look at the world around you without judgment. In these brief pauses, you can also practice gratitude. Remind yourself that the things you have right now, your health, your relationships, your home, were once things you deeply wished for. This simple act of remembrance connects you to a sense of abundance in the present, rather than focusing on what is lacking. These tiny islands of peace become anchors in the storm of daily life. Of course, the biggest challenge with any new habit is remembering to do it. This is where environmental triggers come in. You can use your surroundings to nudge you back to the present. I personally use post-it notes. I place them in spots I'll see throughout the day, on my laptop, on the bathroom mirror, on the fridge. They have simple questions written on them, like, what went well today? Or are you present? Seeing these notes prompts me to take that 15 or 30-second pause. You could also set recurring reminders on your phone or use a specific object on your desk as a trigger. The method doesn't matter. The consistency does. Finally, it's crucial to remember that this struggle is not a unique personal failing. If you feel this tension between ambition and presence, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's the cost of doing business for anyone with big goals. It is a universal human experience. Acknowledging that everyone feels this way can make the burden feel less isolating and more manageable. The goal isn't to eliminate ambition, but to integrate it into a life that is enjoyed today, not in some distant, idealized future. By weaving moments of peace into our daily hustle, we can have both, the drive to become more and the wisdom to be happy now.